Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, the first one, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I am a man that is currently staying here in South Africa. I am married to a very beautiful woman, and I have come here to give advice to this brother of mine. I heard him saying and complaining that he is dating a South African woman and that woman has been blackmailing him. I just want to advise him, to tell him that there is one tiny little thing that might be causing all of these problems that he is facing in his relationship with that woman. Let me tell you something about South African women, because I have so much experience about dating them. They are not very hard like our own women from Zim that are full of this poverty mentality. If you can just be able to discover what the woman wants, if he can be able to sit down with him, I am telling you that he is going to enjoy his stay in South Africa like I am doing. Most of you, I know that you're going to be jealous. People from my own country, they will say that you're wasting your time staying with a South African woman. And let me tell you this, I am wasting my time, but I drive a Range Rover. How about you? I used to date women from my own country, but I saw that they are full of poverty mentality. Like this woman that I once stayed with, you know what this woman used to do? She will decide to go all the way to Messina so that she can just buy a 10 kg of rice and some buckets and send them home. All the way from Joburg. How many taxis she would use just to go and buy a 10 kg of rice, get it onto the Malaicha's taxi, and then return back. And when she comes back, she will think that she has achieved a lot in life, until the day when I decided to walk away from that woman who was full of poverty mentality. I started to see my life moving very smoothly, and I did not just get to meet the woman that I am dating so easy. I once dated other South African women that also had the poverty mentality, until God gave me this was a woman. Even though you might say whatever that you want to say about them, but they are the most loyal, the most understanding women in South Africa, and I can prove it to you. What I did was that when I met him, I sat with her down. I asked him what is it that she wanted honestly from the relationship, and I told her also what I wanted from him, and then we reached an agreement and we started to work together towards our goals. I am rich and I live a very comfortable life. So if you come here and if you tell me that you are wasting your time with a South African woman, I am wasting my time, but I am enjoying my life in the meantime. Unlike the time when I was dating a woman that was from Zim, all that we did was to fight about little things that does not even matter. I would even give her good advice, and I would say, how about you and I, we just use both of our money to send it to your parents so that they can have food to eat, than for you to go all the way to Messina just to buy food. What kind of thinking is that? But she never understood anything about life. Therefore, I left her, and I am grateful that I left a Zimbabwean woman for a South African woman, because if it was not for that, I would never be able to buy a car like the one that I am driving to this very day. So my advice to that brother who was saying that he is being blackmailed by his South African girlfriend, let me tell you, you are the one that brought this woman into your life, and you need to sort it out. Sit down with him, find what she loves a lot. They do understand these women. I know that you said that she wanted 10k. It is just because she is angry. What I've discovered about South African women is that they get attached to a man quite easily, and if you do not give them what they want because of that attachment, you'll end up thinking that they love violence. No, it is because they look up to you, and they want you to do whatever that they want at that time. But if you learn to sit with her down, discuss issues, if you can't afford 10K, speak with him. Tell her that this is what I can afford on a monthly basis, and this is where I want you and me to go. Show her the future. Tell her that you are here to work for him. You are going to enjoy life. Dear listeners, right there was a narration of a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. He was giving advice to that brother of ours who was saying that he's being blackmailed by this South African woman. So our brother was saying that do not take any advice from these Zimbabweans. Most of them, they don't even have papers anyway. Just enjoy your life with your South African girlfriend and sit with her down. You're going to enjoy South Africa. Yeah, and then there is another message that I want to share with you, and the message, it reads like this. Hello brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I am a man that is aged 50 something years. Do not mention how old I am. I used to be in the police force. So there was this other day, life was very difficult. My wife was pregnant and I did not have any money. I was staying in the suburbs, but we were just renting a one room, me and my wife, because that was where it was close to the place where I was working as a police officer. So this man, he was a pastor. One day I had gone out. I wanted to buy something at the shops. I think it was bread, if I still remember very well. Then I met the man. He then told me that he wanted us to talk. And then I got into his vehicle. He was driving a green Mercedes-Benz. When I got into his vehicle, he then said that since I was a police officer, he just wanted me to assist him with the next move that he was about to take. I asked him what is it that he had done. He promised me a lot of money, in which I was so desperate to get at that time. I agreed to get the money, and then he told me that he had been sleeping around with a girl that was underage, and he was thinking of getting her killed because the parents knew about it now, and they were going to make sure that he was going to get arrested. And then I said, once you kill that girl, then you're going to be in a lot of problems. He then said to me, what is it that I must do, because I am confused. I don't know what to do anymore. That was when I gave him the advice, and I said, I know someone that is working at the Home Affairs. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to speak with him. We're going to change your identity, everything, and you can have a brand new identity, and your old identity is going to report that you are dead. We are even going to issue a death certificate. He said that was fine. And this was a big pastor, by the way, and the name of the church, please do not mention it. I then went and I spoke with my friend. For the right amount, he said he could do it, to change everything in the system, to report him as a dead person, and then we give him a brand new identity. His relatives, they were told about this. They were supposed to go and get the death certificate so that it can look real. They said that it was fine. Him and his wife, they ran away from Zim. In those days, there were no passports as such. People were using what they called emergency traveling documents. That is when it happened. He applied for an emergency traveling document using fake information, and he had a new identity. Him and his wife, they left the country with his kids, and they did not return back. They left the car for me, which I sold at a good price, and I started a business. To this very day, I have grocery shops in the village where I am staying, and I have since retired. But what troubles me is that I can't stop thinking about that girl. I know that now she is a grown-up woman. Maybe she is married. I can't stop myself from thinking about it. It was something that happened to me because I also needed the money. I could have never agreed to do such a thing, and it was my duty to arrest that man. But because my wife was heavily pregnant, I had no money. So I used common sense, and I said, even if I arrest this man, how am I going to benefit? I'm not going to benefit anything. I'll just feel good about it and say that this is the good thing that I have done for this young woman. But I am not going to benefit in any kind of way with the way that I was poor at that time. So I just need advice from your listeners now that I am all grown up and I am old now, but still the memories of what I did, I can't forget them. What advice can you give to me? Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. We're saying that he's a retired police officer, and this was the cover up that they did, helping this big pastor to escape the country as well. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. The message that he sent to me, it reads like this: hello brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I have come here because I need advice. My relatives, they do not want me and they do not want to accompany me so that we can go to a sangoma, because they say that since we go to a Pentecostal church, it is not allowed for us to go and consult with those that claim that they speak with the dead, for it is a sin. So what has brought me here, brother, is that as a family we are suffering, and people are just suffering silently in the family just because we are Christians and we go to church. And if you are a man that is born into our family, you are born with a curse already. There is a spirit of a woman that comes to sleep with you, and this woman, she was a Zambian woman that was murdered by my grandfather when he used to be there in Lusaka. This happened before Zimbabwe had gotten its independence. So this woman, what she does is that any man that is born into the family, she lays a claim and says that you are her husband, and we can't maintain a relationship with women because already we do have a spiritual wife. As for me, there are times, brother, when I can even be sitting in church, and this has caused me to pray much less than what I used to do in the past, because what would happen is that I would be sitting in church and then I would feel a woman and she'll be touching me and she'll be opening the zip of my trousers, and even my manhood will come out on its own. The people that will be sitting right next to me, they would not even see anything or suspect that this is what is happening to me, because this will be the spirit of that woman that will be busy touching me. She will proceed to make love to me, and then when she is done, she will return my manhood back into my trousers. And the moment that she does that, I would feel that my seed is all over my thighs, and when I go to the bathroom, I will see the physical evidence that I am a man that has just ejaculated, even though I was not even thinking about anything that has to do with sex, and I'll be in church, by the way. So this has affected me quite a lot, because I keep on asking myself, how can God allow that to happen? How is it possible that a spirit can rape you right there in church when the pastor is busy preaching? So it has affected my walk with God, and most of the times I find myself not wanting to pray, to not want to go to church anymore because of that. I can be in bed and that woman can come and she can start to sleep with me, and this gives us a lot of bad luck as men that are born into our family. I do not have a child, I am not married, but I hope that one day I'll be able to get married to start a family. So what my grandfather told me when he was about to die, he told me that he went to Zambia when they were fighting for the liberation of the country. So where the war veterans were based, they were based in Zambia, where they were given some access to train as well as to return back to Zim so that they can fight the white people. So himself, he was already part of the Rhodesian army. These were soldiers that had been recruited by the British, and they were getting paid a lot of money so that they can spy on other black people. That is what he used to do. So he was then given a mission to go to Zambia to pretend as if he wanted to join the revolution. He said that he arrived in Lusaka and he would pass the information to the white people that were already there in Zambia. So he was working as a spy for the white people. He then said that he would write the names of the people that were going to be sent back to the front line to fight the white people, so that the moment that they get inside Zimbabwe, they will get arrested, because the white people would know where to find them exactly. That was the work that he was doing there. He was then sent to Tanzania. He said when he was sent to Tanzania, that was when he had a change of mind, because there was a school where they were being taken to in Tanzania, where they were being taught what it meant to be an African revolutionary and what they were fighting for. He then said that he had a revelation and he saw that he was being used by the white people to destroy his own country, and all the people that were getting killed in the front line, it was all because of people like him that would pass the information about where the comrade bases were in Zimbabwe. He then felt guilty. He said he came back to Lusaka in Zambia with a change of mind. There was this other woman who was also a Zambian spy. This woman would just pretend as if she was selling things in the street, but she would pass information to the Zambians, those that wanted to know how many spies they were in Zambia that were working for the white people. So this woman, my grandfather, said that the day when he was supposed to give information to this other white man, there was a list of people that he had been told to write that were going to be sent to the front. But my grandfather said that he had a change of heart and he had written false names, and he had also given them locations that were wrong, where some other soldiers were stationed that were fighting for liberation. So that woman, when she saw my grandfather exchanging that paper with a white man, then she confronted my grandfather about it. That was the mistake that she did, and she said that she knew that my grandfather was a spy. She then went to her house. She was staying sort of like in a rural area, and my grandfather followed her. When she was busy bathing, my grandfather said that he followed him into the bathing area, and then he started to fight with him, grabbed her by the neck and started to suffocate her to death because she was making a lot of noise. My grandfather said that he then held her head into the water because there was a big dish that was full of water that she wanted to use to bath. So my grandfather pushed her into the water until she was no longer breathing. When my grandfather saw that she was no longer breathing, that was when he said he left a lifeless body in that place where he had found him getting ready to bath, and he ran away. After the war, my grandfather said that he told himself that this had to be done because if he had not killed that spy, then she was going to report everything to the Zambians and he was the one that was going to get killed. He said that he also did this because he knew that his comrades, they were not going to spare him. They were going to kill him for what he had been doing. Already, he said that there was a lot of rebellion that was happening in the movement of those that were fighting for the liberation. So anyone that was caught being rebellious would be killed on the spot. So he was scared that it would have happened to him. He said that he did this because in times of war, you just have to make decisions like that. After the war, my grandfather returned back home and he started to experience the things that would terrify him. Even when he was now in the front line, my grandfather said that when they were busy shooting at each other, them against the white Rhodesians, my grandfather will turn around and will start to shoot in the wrong direction, because he said that he would see the ghost of that woman. Even in broad daylight, that woman would appear wanting to fight, to shoot him, so he would turn around and start shooting into the air. He said that there was this other time when they were sent to the front. It was 4 of them, and as they were walking, they then started to fight with those Rhodesians. My grandfather, he then started to shoot at a tree until the entire battle was over. He was just shooting at a tree. His other friends then asked him why he had been wasting all of those bullets shooting at a tree. He could not tell them that when he looked at the tree, he saw that woman that he had murdered, and that woman changed from being a tree and became a person who was holding a gun, and she started to shoot at my grandfather. So he said that these were some of the spiritual encounters that he was having when they were fighting in the war. So my grandfather later on then went to a traditional healer because he kept on having these spiritual encounters, but this was after Zimbabwe had gotten its independence. When he went to a traditional healer, he was then told that the blood of that woman was crying out unto God, and it had been sent to revenge. So my grandfather was then told that he had to perform this ritual each and every year in order to protect his family. My grandfather was then given a bottle, and inside that bottle there is some oil according to him, and what he had to do was that he had to sacrifice 4 chickens each and every year in the beginning of the year. Then after January, he had to slaughter another chicken. Then mid-year, he had to slaughter another chicken. Then at the end of the year, he had to slaughter another chicken. And each and every time when he would have slaughtered the chickens, what he was supposed to do was that he was supposed to take some of the blood and to put it, not a lot, into that bottle that had the oil. And when he was done, he was supposed to return that bottle to the place where he had left it buried, because he was told to bury it close to his father's grave. So my grandfather's father, he was buried in the mountains. That is where he is buried, and less than 100 centimeters from where he was buried, that is where my grandfather dug up a big hole, and then he put that bottle in there, and on top he then placed some stones on top of it, because he once took me there. And as for his mother, she was buried in a cave. This is what the people used to do back in those days, bury their loved ones in the caves and in the mountains. So he once took me there because he wanted me to see where everything was, so that I can continue with this ritual. I tried to do those rituals because I saw that my life, it was not moving according to the way that I wanted it to. So I climbed up the mountain, and when I was about to get close to my grandfather's grave, that was when I saw a very big snake like I had never seen in my entire life. It was a black mamba. Then that snake, it started to chase after me. This was after I had seen my grandmother. She asked me where I wanted to go to, and I should not do what I wanted to do, because I wanted to go and to remove that bottle so that I can try to do the rituals as I had been taught by my grandfather. So I started running down the mountain as the black mamba was busy chasing me. I then went back because I said maybe if I go back, I'll be able to take that bottle so that I can perform the ritual. But when I was climbing up the mountain, I met 2 men. These men, they were just standing in front of me, and those 2 men, they became like one person. And the next thing I saw, that there was a snake that was in front of me. This was a puff adder. Those men had became a snake, and then the snake started to go big. It was growing big by the second until it was as big as a small car. I ran away and I never returned back to that mountain. So this is what has brought me here. I am looking for advice. My relatives, they say that they do not want to go to a sangoma, yet as a family we do pray, but we can't stay in relationships with women for a very long time. We always sleep with a woman that we can't see at night. And my relatives, they say that it is fine. It is better that we suffer than to go to a sangoma. I need advice from your listeners. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us try to speak with our brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Do you believe in these avenging spirits, or you do not believe in it? You can tell us what you think in the comment section. Let us meet again in the next episode.